Okay.
Or usually have.
Okay. Not a bank person?
Not lately.
Okay.
I've had issues. I know that may sound weird or strange, but you can verify this with Waukesha State Bank.
Mm-hmm.
I had a safe deposit box with them, and they forced me to close it.
How come?
That's a good question. Maybe you guys can figure that out for me.
What did you normally keep in the safe deposit box?
What you normally keep in a safe deposit box.
Papers, important documents.
Important, whatever you
Got it.
want.
Were you able to get this stuff out of it?
Yes.
Okay.
But they did force me to close it.
Okay. Huh. So where were these items?
They were in my house.
Where in your house?
That's no comment.
Kind of makes it tough for me if I don't know where
I
you're saying
understand.
that things were taken from.
I understand. We are yet to a point where I feel comfortable.
Okay. Because that's kind of an important thing for me to be.
Well,
you know what I
it's
mean?
in my house. It's in my house.
Let me ask you this, Gary. You can answer it or not. Potentially, might there be video of this?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that. How about that?
Yes.
Okay. They have a reason that you don't feel comfortable even telling us what the reason is, and that's fine.
As I had mentioned earlier, I don't feel comfortable with talking to either one of you.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with whether I know you or not. I don't believe you're here to help me.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I'm being honest. I don't believe you're here to help me. I was under the impression at that time that you guys are here to help me serve whatever laws and protect my rights. That is my perfect example of why I think, at least my wake-up call with McDonald's, is not the first time something fishy is going on. It's not the second time, it's not the third time. Something not right with law enforcement. So when I honestly tell you I don't think you're here to help me, I mean I don't think you're here to help me.
Right. Items returned to you, the cameras, the thumb drives, computers, hard drives, are those still in evidence somewhere, or have those been returned to you?
Everything except the money was returned to me.
Were the gold coins returned to you?
No.
And the diamond ring?
No.
So the cash, the coins, and the ring are still gone. But the computers, cameras, whatever else, that type of stuff has been returned.
Correct.
That type of thing, was everything returned that was taken? Not counting the money or the coins or anything, but the other stuff was, did you get everything back?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay.
Can I
Yeah,
ask one?
yeah.
Did you get discovery on your case, Gary?
I tried.
You haven't gotten it?
I
I was going to ask, did you ever see like a property inventory sheet? Because normally when we take evidence, we do an inventory sheet.
To answer your question, I tried everything I could to get discovery, and I did see a property inventory list.
What was on the list?
It was my electronics, cell phones, thumb drives, and there were some brief descriptions of identifiers, as they classified it as personal identifiers.
Right.
Some other objects that were on there that were returned, a VHS tape, kind of a thing, and that stuff was returned to me. Okay. I questioned the property inventory list with my attorney at the time, was Tom Krasinski. And in August of 2014, Tom Krasinski writes a letter to the Waukesha Police Department kindly asking them to return my property or state why you still have it.
Okay. Cash, the coins, and the ring on any property list? No.
Nope. And when I brought that up to Tom's attention, he says, well, they have to, one, he said, I'll write them a letter.
Mm-hmm.
Two, they're going to have to respond and tell me what's going on. Three, he sent me a copy of it at least, and asked them to return my property, and they never replied to Tom or myself about anything.
How soon do you discover that those items were missing? The money, the coins, and the ring?
It was when I got the inventory list itself.
Do you remember when that was? I mean, was this months and months after the fact? Because it took you a while to get the,
It took me a while to get everything.
yeah.
What the paperwork actually detailing what the heck is going on.
Well, when do you realize that this stuff is missing?
When I got out of jail and I got home,
Oh,
and then I
okay.
had, my house was all torn up and everything like that. And
So you discovered it pretty quickly, but did you think it had been taken in the warrants? Is that?
that's my impression,
Oh, okay, I got it. Okay.
because I don't even know what they're looking for. They wouldn't tell me nothing about what they're looking for, period. And they wouldn't say anything during the 2 days that I was in jail. What are you exactly looking for? Well, child pornography is the indication that Carpenter is telling me. You know, it's got something to do with child pornography kind of crap. And he won't even tell me, what are you arresting me for?
Okay.
It's a year after I get out of jail that they mail me a citation saying, oh, it's disorderly conduct. For what?
Right. Okay.
And they don't even put on the citation what I did. It's just disorderly conduct statute, city order.
Try back. So once you get the paperwork and you realize the cash, the coins, the diamond ring, they aren't on this list. Do you address that specifically with anybody ever, like with the city or an attorney or anything?
Well, the first attorney I talked to was Tom Krasinski.
Okay.
And he stated, well, I'll write him a letter and we'll see what we can do.
Okay. Okay.
So when Scott Phillips ran out at me when I was being arrested, when I get out of jail, I eventually go down to see Mr. Phillips. He's got Mr. Carpenter doesn't know this, but I'm going to tell you this. At the time that Scott Phillips was with me in court, he actually had my master hard drive on him in his briefcase. There was a video on it that I was going to show in court.
Oh.
About Sheriff Wade Hollingsworth roadside interrogation tactics that he was pulling on me. And I got that on video.
And is that what you were here for?
With Scott Phillips
I got it. Okay.
was the road rage incident. Phillips has got,
And does he still have it?
at the time when I'm being arrested, Phillips has got his little briefcase and he's got my master's hard drive on him in his briefcase. So when he ran out, there goes my master. There was more of a reason why I went and saw Scott Phillips in person, not just to fire him for running out on me. I made him cough up my master.
Did he give it back?
Yes, he did. He didn't have a choice.
Right.
I wasn't polite. You are fired, young man, and I don't know why you call yourself an attorney, but you're a disgrace to the bar, so to speak. And by the way, I'll take my master with me. He had my masters on him at the time. So whatever Carpenter really was looking for, he came a lot closer to getting his hands on it, and he still wouldn't have found anything illegal on the master because I don't participate in that kind of activity,
Yeah.
period.
I gotta ask, are there any pictures of the gold coins, the diamond ring? I think I asked you about the ring, but anything that I can kind of see what it is?
No comment.
Okay. So you have them, but you don't know if you want to give them to me. Got it. I'm like kind of figuring this out here as I go.
I think I've been as clear as I can be
You may
with
have
it.
something.
Okay. Okay. Now that's good to know.
I'm very public about what my issues are with law enforcement in Waukesha. I'm very public about being gang stalked. I'm very public about the technology that I use, and protect yourself at all times. The people that you trust to serve and protect are not the people that you think they are. I'm no different than any average man, doesn't appreciate being hit, punched, or shoved. You got me inside the courthouse already. You know that I'm concealed carry. I've got no weapons on me. Okay? These guys know exactly how they're going to do it.
So what is Carpenter doing to you now? So he
Now
comes. Are you guys in this hallway still?
It's, yeah, about now I'm just past the archway,
Yeah.
kind of in the hallway.
Yeah.
Finds behind me, Carpenter's in front of me. I've got some papers in my hand,
Okay.
maybe a pencil kind of a thing.
Sure.
He's coming from the front side, taking this, taking that, starts manhandling me into the room,
So what do you mean by that? What does he do?
pushing, shoving, grabbing,
Okay.
you know.
Like arms and
Yes,
stuff? Okay.
you know, I'm not going willingly.
Are you saying anything at this point?
Yes.
What are you telling them?
Well, one, I say, well, who are you? Because they're plain clothes and no uniform and no badge showing. Now, it's safe to assume with all the sheriff's department and deputies in the court that they are law enforcement. But I am asking them to identify themselves because I want to know.
Okay.
Just like I ask you to identify yourself,
Right.
it's standard procedure. Identify yourself. So now they're manhandling me into the small room. Now my attorney's with me. He's kind of standing off on the other side of the table.
Conference room that's right there?
It's a
like
conference
okay,
room.
yeah.
And they're manhandling me and they're pushing me in this room. And
Is there like a-
I already know within a fraction of a second, all well played out, all well planned, all thought out, how they were going to do it. They're not going to show any ID. They're not going to answer any questions. They're going to play the bad cop routine with me versus what you guys are doing with playing the good cop routine. It's a standard technique. I am saying something. ID yourself. Second, I don't consent to any searches or seizures as they're going through my pockets and taking stuff. I don't consent to that. Second, they're not telling me I'm under arrest. They didn't say you're under arrest. Put your hand behind your back to nothing. Not a word.
Some point you're saying something about attorney, or my attorney's here, or
He's standing
no,
right
I'm
next
not
to
going
me.
to ask you something about. I remember I wrote it down. Something about my attorney's here. I'm not going to answer your questions, or I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Well, my attorney is with me, okay, and he does say, identify yourself.
Okay.
Okay, and at that time, Detective Carpenter said, Waukesha Detective Mike Carpenter, or I don't think he said Mike Carpenter, he said Waukesha Police Department Detective
Oh,
Carpenter. And then right after that, that's when Phillips runs out of the room after they identified themselves, and now I'm standing there, and then it's kind of like, okay, so what is this about?
Okay.
Am I being arrested? Am I being detained? What are you arresting me for? I don't consent to any searches or seizures. Read me my rights.
Did you say something like I want to speak to my attorney?
Oh, it's several times.
Okay.
Okay.
When is the relationship to when you get arrested, Gary? How far back is that McDonald's incident, time-wise?
4 months.
Okay. When do you first find out it's about the McDonald's incident?
When Carpenter was interrogating me, he was asking me if I remembered being in a McDonald's.
And when was that asked of you?
That was when I was in the courthouse, I was still
Okay.
handcuffed, and before he took me to the car.
The court did. What was your understanding of the McDonald's? Was that a dead issue, or, you know, like in your mind, did you have any idea what was going on?
No, I didn't. No.
What's your understanding, Gary, about the law about when does Miranda rights have to be read? What's your understanding of it?
It's quite clear that they are read according to their policy, according to legally my understanding, when you're arrested. You are read your Miranda rights so that you know that you don't have to, one, say anything, two, you have a right to an attorney, and what your Miranda rights legally are.
What's your understanding of the legalities about searching someone? Because you'd said you did not consent to a search. What's your understanding about searching and someone being arrested?
One, you have to be told you're under arrest.
Okay.
Okay. Two, they are supposed to inform you what you are under arrest for. Now, three, they don't have to, if they do it properly, my understanding is if you are under arrest, I'm going to place you under arrest.
Right.
And I tell you you're under arrest, and it's for murdering your neighbor, so you all know what it's all about, and you're under arrest. They don't need permission to search you. If they don't tell you you are under arrest, or what you're under arrest for, then you're really not under arrest. You're being detained. And under those circumstances, you have a right, under those circumstances, to say, no, I don't consent.
Okay.
I'm not under arrest. You're not telling me anything that I'm under arrest for. And second, or more important, in the past 30 minutes that I've been sitting in this courtroom, either in the courtroom or with my attorney, I didn't commit a crime that I know of. Or
Right. No,
did you suspect me of committing a crime? or about to commit a crime.
And I understand what you're saying, and you would say that even though they put handcuffs on you.
Correct.
So that would be irrelevant. They would have to tell you, hey, you're under arrest and this is what you're under arrest for. That's what you believe.
That's
Great.
correct.
Okay, good.
Well, my understanding, they're not allowed to put handcuffs on you unless they have some kind of probable cause and
Correct.
reasonable suspicion that you committed a crime or about to commit a crime.
That's correct.
And